Good morning, and we're live. And in today's lesson, we will continue writing a letter to the editor. First things first, I'm going to share my screen. Okay, good. So you have screen, you have chat window. Good. And I'm going to go to Classroom. And we have an assignment, writing a letter to the editor. Look at the assignments. It's not the instructions. So maybe we'll view the sample writing video, maybe 2 to 5 minutes, and then we'll start composing the letter. Okay, so let's try that first. Let's see what this video is all about. Sorry. Okay, I think that's enough. Let's start composing the letter by looking at the parts. So we'll need the textbook, and we'll need our sample writing. I'm going to open up sample writing. Now I'm going to open up the textbook and go to the prompt. Where is it? The prompt. Let's go back to the textbook, Oxford Advantage. Let's view the material. I believe this is unit 4. Okay. Moon, can you see the screen? Okay. So these are the elements that we need to include. I'm going to annotate. 1, dear editor. That's number 1. Let's always start off our letter with a greeting. Okay. 2, if you need to, include a subject line. 3, start off with this expression, I'm writing to respond to, and then fill in what you're actually responding to. 4, summarize the article that you're responding to. 5, what is your opinion? Okay, so let's try that first. Let's try to compose a first paragraph. Now, I know that I've taught you guys to write your introduction last. I think it's okay that we write the introduction first because we've already done the planning. Okay. So in this case, I think it's okay to write the introductory paragraph first. So let's do that. Moon, do you have a Google Doc open? Make sure you have a Google Doc open to write your letter to the editor. Okay, I'm going to remove the annotations. Also going to share this on our WhatsApp group in case anyone wants to join. Follow along as I write a letter to the editor. Okay, good. So let's start. I'm going to write Dear Editor. Then I need to put a subject line. And I'll put that in the middle. And I'm going to use language I am writing to respond to. And then I will find what the prompt is. So since the prompt doesn't tell us who wrote the article and what the article's title was, you can make it up. Okay, so this is important. I'm writing to respond to and the article. Hong Kong students like to study. Students study year-round. Which details about. Okay, so first, I've written what I'm responding to. Then I'm going to summarize the article in maybe one sentence. I'm writing to respond to the article Hong Kong students study year-round, in which the argument is made that Hong Kong students are very focused on their studies and are unlikely to gain work experience or volunteer during the summer. My opinion is that students, now we have to decide. So in our previous lesson, you either agreed or disagreed with this argument. Moon, do you want to agree or disagree? Okay, so I agree. I agree with that argument. Okay. So in that way, we've covered the first paragraph. Now, something that we can write later on is why. Right? So you can introduce the following or the main body paragraphs here. So again, dear editor, what's the subject line? And then topics of the body paragraphs. We can write these later. We just start using the language. I'm writing to respond to the article, and then you have to name the article, in which the argument is made that what's the topic? I agree with that argument. So I'm going to maybe highlight some of the language. Dear editor, okay. So I'm going to just highlight some of the language that's useful. Highlight red, okay. Some of the things that you can fill in yourself, which the argument is made that, okay. So things that you can, I agree. Okay, so you can see certain kinds of structures that are useful for writing the introduction. I am responding to the article. The argument is made that, which summarizes the article, and then your opinion. Okay. Now, we can take a look Formal greeting, subject, opening paragraph, sure. At the body paragraphs, we have 2, 3, 4 paragraphs. We have first, second, and finally. Gives different arguments in support of the writer's point of view. Okay. So let's write the topic sentences. Let's go back to how we were taught. Summer jobs are a great way to explore different work options. Students get a summer job and they'll pick up skills that they'll be useful throughout their career. Applying summer jobs gives students a chance to learn about the world of work. Okay. So we have different arguments here. And we need to choose 3 to develop. Okay. Let's do this one. 1, 2, and Moon. Which one do you want to do for the third one? There aren't enough jobs, or students have to have too many activities, or students would rather study. Do you have a preference? Okay, good. So we'll try these as our paragraphs. Okay, so let's write our topic sentences. Dear editor, I'm writing to respond to the article Hong Kong Students Study Year-Round, in which the argument is made that Hong Kong students are very focused on their studies and are unlikely to gain work experience volunteer during the summer. I agree with that argument. Now, if you want, you can signpost, first of all. Students don't know how to find summer job opportunities or volunteer summer job and volunteer opportunities. Okay. All right. So that's going to be my topic sentence. You can use other kinds of signposts like secondly, sure, additionally. Okay, besides, don't know how to find some job. Yeah, they did. Even if students knew how to find summer job and volunteer opportunities, they would still be too tired. They would still be too tired from studying to work or volunteer. Okay. So if you see what I'm doing, I'm making reference here to the previous paragraph. To introduce my second topic, I make reference to the previous topic. Finally, so here we go. Point 3. Finally, for students who aren't too tired to work, or students who aren't too tired from their studies, students who aren't too tired from studies. These students have far too many other activities. Far too many other activities to work or to volunteer. Okay, so if you see what I'm doing, again, I'm making reference to the previous paragraph. So I'm saying there are actually two kinds of students. One, those that are tired, for which reason they don't work or volunteer, and those who have too many activities, for which reason they don't work or volunteer. Okay. All right, so now I'm going to develop these topics. Okay. I'm going to do, let's do, okay, let's do the first one. I'll try to write at most 5 sentences. And we have the supporting information here. Okay, first of all, students don't know how to find summer job and volunteer opportunities. And what can we say? We've already written sentences here. Are not taught in school. Schools don't teach. Many schools don't teach students how to find summer job and volunteer activities. Parents may not know how to find those opportunities. This way. Additionally, parents may not know. And this way. We shouldn't expect to know that there are opportunities and where to find them. So if you can see my supporting information, I'm stating some facts. 1, many schools don't teach students how to find summer job and volunteer activities. 2, parents may not know how to find these opportunities. Therefore, we shouldn't expect students to know that there are opportunities and where to find them. Besides, since there is no one-stop shop available job and volunteer opportunities in Hong Kong. But there are many physical and digital resources. Students may not even know where to begin. not know where to begin in selecting such resources to find the right job. Okay, so that's the end of my first paragraph. I'm just providing a lot of facts and then the implications. So my topic is, 1, students don't know how to find summer job and volunteer opportunities. Okay, so here's a fact. Here is additional information. In this way means therefore or thus. So as a result of these two facts, we conclude we shouldn't expect students to know that there are opportunities and where to find them. And then I throw something else out there too, even more additional information, a fact and another fact. And here's my conclusion. And all of this supports the idea that students don't know how to find summer job and volunteer opportunities. And I just described these in detail by presenting some facts and then some conclusions. Do you have any questions? Okay. I'll write one more. And I'll do this one, the third one. Okay. Actually, you know what? I'll just do the second one because I was working on that. Maybe it's good for you guys to at least write your own paragraph without my support. So here we go. Even if students knew how to find summer job and volunteer opportunities, they would still be too tired from studying to work or volunteer. Reports indicate, so I'm going to draw some more facts, fake facts. Studies indicate that reports have described that students, studies have shown that students on average 4 hours daily on homework during the summer. So again, I'm trying to draw on some facts. Okay. Completing such homework requires much time and effort. Much time and effort. Much time and concentration. Okay. So another statement of concentration. The studies have shown students spend on average 4 hours completing this homework requires much time and concentration. Additionally, or in addition, okay, students on average attend school homework. And students on average attend tutorial schools and on average tutorial schools during the summer holiday. And not only must attend classes, but also complete school homework. So I'm presenting a lot of facts. This takes much time. All this takes much time and effort. So that we shouldn't expect students have sufficient energy to take on summer jobs and volunteer opportunities. Instead, students should be resting. Resting after such work, after such homework. So if you see what I'm doing, I'm stating again my topic, and now I'm going to present some information. Studies have shown. Here's a fact. Here's another fact. Here's some more information. Okay. Well, I'm starting to draw my conclusion. And my conclusion is we shouldn't expect students to have sufficient energy to take on summer jobs and volunteer activities. And then I'm presenting something else, another point. Okay, so students should be resting after such homework. Any questions? Okay. So you see how I'm developing this right now. And ultimately, we have to write about 300 words. I'm pretty sure, yeah, I'm already close to 300 words. But let's think about the ending now. Okay. So we should summarize. And if we have to write 300 words, I'm okay just writing 2 body paragraphs and then summarizing. Okay. I have sufficient details here in these 2 paragraphs that I can just summarize. So I want to reiterate my point of view and make some recommendations. So I'm going to just remove this because I already have sufficient number of words. Okay. So in summary, students are ignorant of the possibilities. Okay, so I'm just restating the topics. Are ignorant of the possibilities. Are ignorant of the job and volunteer possibilities available to them. And even if they were not, they have so much homework that we shouldn't expect students to complete homework and job or volunteer responsibilities. So I just summarized the point. And now I'll recommend something. In summary, many students are ignorant of the job and volunteer opportunities available to them. All right, so that's the first point. And even if they were not, they have so much homework that we shouldn't expect students to complete homework, complete all homework job responsibilities. If more students are to work or volunteer during the summer, schools must systematically help students find suitable work or volunteer opportunities. And at the same time, reduce the homework given to students so that students can complete. Students can work or volunteer. Let's have sufficient time and energy to work or volunteer. In my view, it's up to schools to make the difference. In my opinion, it's up to schools. It's up to schools to change students' summer experiences. Okay. So I just wrote a conclusion where, first of all, I'm summarizing the topics. Then I'm making the recommendations. Okay. So I'm going to state supporting information and draw conclusions. And then, this is important, make recommendations. Make recommendations. Draw conclusions for the entire letter. Support your argument. The argument in your okay. If the author and article title are not given, make them up. Okay, I'm going to close. Yours faithfully. Yours faithfully. Line. Red. Don't capitalize the F. Okay. Summer jobs and volunteer. Depend on schools. That's the title of my letter. All right, so I'm summarizing the subject of the letter in a few words. Okay. With that argument. Moon, good question. Let's think about it not in terms of the number of arguments, but the number of words. Okay. So ultimately, let's follow the instructions and write based on the number of words. If you can make a comprehensive argument with two main body paragraphs, that's fine. I think the important thing is you have 300 words. Let's not write 500. I don't think that's a good idea. Do you see how many words I wrote with just 2 arguments? That's a lot. I wrote 361 words. So I don't think the most important thing is the number of arguments. The most important thing is write concisely. If you can write this much for 2 arguments, do so. But take a look at these paragraphs, these model paragraphs. The writer doesn't write nearly as much for each paragraph, so the writer can write more paragraphs. That is, make more arguments with fewer details. Okay, so I'll say it one more time. If you can include many details in a few arguments, do so. If you have few details, you may need to make many arguments. Ultimately, write around 300 words. Based students' school experiences. Okay. So that's it. That's it for the letter to the editor. We have the greeting, subject line that summarizes my letter. I have some language, the introduction, which introduces the previous article, the summary of the previous article, and my view. And then I introduce 2 topics or arguments, and I present supporting information, facts, and then I draw conclusions. And then I make a summary of my arguments, my 2 main body paragraphs. Then I make a recommendation, and then I close, and I include who I am and where I'm from. Any questions? Great. So maybe we can meet again tomorrow, and if there are more students, then we can continue to work on writing a letter to the editor. Maybe I can look at your writing tomorrow. Okay, so let's try 0900. I'll look at your writing. I'll look at your writing. Okay, Moon? And I'll announce this to the class. Okay, I'm going to stop recording.